Hi everyone, welcome to ZV NFT. It is International Women's Day, and I think it's really important to spend a few moments highlighting the incredible strides women in the NFT space are making. And you can bet that they are breaking the bias, okay? I have been watching the trends for the last few weeks and observing just some really cool stuff that's going on in the NFT space. Women are breaking barriers. More women are entering the space. There is insane talent and creativity, boldness, courageousness, and just phenomenal art. There have been very creative and interesting ways that collections and teams have been thinking about utility and how the collections that they are putting forward and the money that they're making from these collections can actually impact the world in a really positive way. There is a long way to go, but you have to start somewhere. I really liked the name of a collection that I saw earlier today. It's called Not Your Bros, right? And you can bet that it's not your bros, but it's the women that are doing it for themselves in the NFT space and have some pretty incredible support from other women and some awesome men as well in the space. So I am going to spend a little bit of time highlighting what's been going on and where the progress has been made and what needs to happen next. There's a good story that encapsulates some of the trends that I've been observing. The context here overall is that there's good news in the cryptocurrency and the NFT space because women are making important waves and are emerging as significant players in a male-dominated space. You've got female creators, collectors, and technology innovators that are breaking into blockchain technologies, crypto, and NFTs. One of the things is that I'm seeing women collectors truly investing in women artists and in collections that are starting to emerge. Reese Witherspoon recently backed and partnered with World of Women NFT collection, and there's some really cool stuff coming out there. It was a big boost to the collection and to the entire space. Randy Zuckerberg is someone who's been a big NFT collector and is primarily investing in NFT artwork created by women. And what she has been saying is that, it's not just about buying and trading and selling. It's also about developing collections that truly have impact in people's daily lives. And a lot of the collections that Randy and her organization has been supporting are with collections that are really seeking to make a difference in the world and are really pushing boundaries and breaking the bias. When it comes to penetrating the whole crypto space, what I've really liked seeing, and I've benefited from a lot myself, is that women are educating one another, right? There are organizations emerging, Twitter spaces like almost every day, just to talk a little bit about the space, about not to be afraid and step into it and learn and buy and just test it out. And that's been cool to see. I would like to highlight one collection called Boss Beauties, and they are debuting at the United Nations as first ever female-focused NFT exhibition collection on International Women's Day. So that's totally breaking the bias and kind of breaking boundaries as well over at the United Nations. So many times people come up to me and they go, Zain, I just don't understand NFTs. I don't get the space and I'm really intimidated by it. And 10 out of 10 times, they're women. And I encourage them to just simply immerse and learn. I mean, you're not going to grasp this space if you don't put in 10, 20, 50 hours just trying to understand it. I want to highlight one organization that I think is doing a good job. It's called My BFF. And they have really started to emerge as a powerful learning-based initiative. They also offer industry news. They give you rewards if you participate in learning, which I find a really cool and attractive thing. I think that the more information we share with each other about the basics, the less afraid we are to say, we really don't know this and it is kind of intimidating, but I'm going to figure it out anyway, which is the whole vibe in the women in NFT space here. I think it would be awesome if you just decided to jump in. There are so many cool collections out there. You just have to go out and explore. Okay, so go to Twitter, go to the official links that get you into Discords and see what people are saying, what kind of roadmaps have been proposed. That's really important. Take a look and see who the team is and what the vision is that they have for their actual collection. That's where I get a lot of good alpha information, is on Discord channels. Telegram is another platform where the community convenes and talks. I don't find myself going to Telegram as much as I am to Twitter, and especially Twitter Spaces, where I can be found pretty much, for a number of hours of any day. Crypto Chicks, I like this collection. I liked how it celebrates gender and beauty diversity in both the real and the virtual world. This collection has been traded for something like $27 million as of this month. Women and Weapons is another collection. In fact, I bought into this a while ago, and it's got basically some badass women with weapons. And, it was just one of those days I thought I needed a weapon, right? A lot of collections raise money also for charities, and there's a percentage typically donated to an organization that the collector or the artist or the collection thinks is a priority. So in this particular one, money is donated to the Malala Fund for Charity. The Sad Girls Bar is another collection here that actually got a recent group hug, which is the name of Randy Zuckerberg's organization. And they have invested in the Sad Girls Bar. They've come up with a series of 3 different collections, and they've been quite innovative here in this space. They were minted last year, and they've got pretty robust collectors and investors, and they've been traded for something like $52 million so far. I want to talk about partnerships as well that I'm seeing emerge in the NFT space, particularly as it relates to women. Before I highlight some of the ones I noticed over the last few weeks, I want to say this, that the partnerships that I'm seeing in the NFT space with specific collections are new and innovative ways to communicate to new audiences. They are disruptive, they are exciting, and they are different. And I applaud brands coming into the NFT space like Nike, like Adidas, like Walmart, like Snapchat, coming in and realizing that there's a whole new world, there are whole new audiences out there that are willing to engage in different ways. I often get asked about, global public relations or how to increase your profile in the world. And I think by finding new ways to collaborate with artists who have communities who believe in their art and their mission and their vision is an area that we really need to look at hard and explore. Women are at the forefront of this and are coming up with some very exciting collaborations. And I think that we need to keep our eye on this as strategic communicators in a global space. This is an NFT collection called Women Rise, and in complete disclosure, I actually bought into this a few months ago at a very early stage in my own NFT journey. I think that they have made some very interesting announcements and partnerships over the last few weeks, and I have observed how interesting it has been also to use these partnerships as vehicles, not just that raise the floor prices of the collections, but as vehicles to learn and that offer different ways of engagement when it comes to content and when it comes to creativity. One of their latest announcements is a collaboration with Snapchat, which has the NFT space buzzing, what that's going to be looking like. There is also a collaboration that they have been doing with Ledger. Ledger is a cold wallet storage for NFTs and cryptocurrencies, and that's really important for NFT security and cryptocurrency security overall. So I was in a Twitter Spaces with Ledger and Women Rise recently, and they were talking a little bit about some really important strategies when it comes to safety. And Ledger is using an NFT collection like Women Rise to talk about the things that are important to them and as to why they exist, and educating everybody in this space as to what they should be doing when it comes to keeping your cryptos and your NFTs secure. The big focus of Women's Rise is also on women's rights. So the founder of this collection is a big activist for girls' education, and she has done a really cool interview with Malala about education and how we can reimagine education with Web3. That's an interesting conversation too. And as a Muslim woman, I find it important and essential, in fact, to support other young Muslim women in this space that are breaking the bias and are really making new waves and inspiring a whole new generation of creatives. While Pixies is another collection I'm keeping my eye on. They are coming up with some really exciting stuff. They've got a pretty detailed roadmap. They have been supported in a partnership with Randy Zuckerberg, and having been selected to be a part of their big group hug, Women Empowering Other Women. They intend to create a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization that really invests in other women's collections and gives you a voice in the decision making of their funds and their treasury, and really to try and tell the women's story as well as build their own brand. I think this is a pretty interesting collection that is trying to push the envelope and innovate in this space. Sacred Skulls is another one that got a group hug, and they have some beautiful art, and they are a very dynamic group and are really adamant on building a more inclusive space in Web3 for women and different projects here. You'll notice if you go on Twitter that there are a lot of different collections that have been invited to talk about their NFT collections for Women's History Month. And I think I will be spending a lot of time in these spaces, and I want to encourage all of you to just tune in, just come in and out of the Twitter spaces and see what it is exactly that people are saying. So there are a lot of new collections dropping. One in particular today I like. It's called Not Your Bro. It's a festival that's celebrating International Women's Day, and I find that funny because it's such a male-dominated space, and Not Your Bro just kind of makes that point. I really like the energy of the women in NFT space and the conversations between women and the entire NFT community. Someone put it the way I see it here. Sister Society says, the supportive energy of women in NFTs is unmatched. Sometimes when I need a little pick-me-up, I go and see what people are saying, and I'm truly inspired by what I see and what's going on. There are interesting ways women are finding to showcase their art in different and exciting ways. Different women in all walks of lives wishing one another happy Women's History Month. They're giving away NFTs, showcasing some gorgeous art and photography, which is really big as well. That we haven't even seen the amount of talent that exists with women in photography yet in the NFT space, and I know that we will. It's really great when a woman for the first time sells a piece of art, and the whole community kind of rallies behind that and encourages her and the collection and what she's trying to achieve. So this is the vibe in the NFT space. I think this one kind of says it all today, right? There's some crushing photography, crushing talent, just really excellent art work, and boldness in celebrating talent and conversations about it, and looking at collections that are growing and that are becoming increasingly supported by people around the world. And a shout out to a lot of men in the space as well. The crypto bros and the NFT bros. There's a handful of them that have also importantly boosted women in this space. One thing to highlight here is the idea of the DAO, the decentralized autonomous organizations, and what they can do. I mean, look at this. They have raised $6.5 million in total in Ethereum for Ukraine. You've got these incredible donations from DAOs and NFT sales that are helping the situation on the ground in Ukraine, that are helping refugees, that are helping the Ukrainian military buy weapons to fight Russia. And this is being done in this space. Pussy Riot, you'll remember, is an art collective and a band that really clashed with President Putin in Russia. And, they have been a really powerful force in coming up with money, donations, and crypto and NFT vehicles to support what's happening on the ground and to kind of elevate the suffering of the people of Ukraine. So you really see the power of DAOs and NFTs. And in this one in particular, I wanted to showcase it because it was led by a woman artist. And, massive props to her and to Pussy Riot for doing that. Just a note here that Twitter is going to be launching a global female-led NFT community called Women in NFTs. The idea here is to amplify their work, their stories, to underscore their contribution in the space, as well as to share powerful insights with other women. And you've got a lot of NFT artists that are going to be involved in this launch. So it's awesome to see. Conversations in general by women in the NFT space has been growing. You can see that a lot of the conversation in India in general comes from women, right? 15% according to this article. And I think that that's really important, that more and more women are beginning to believe that participating in NFTs is important. It can be a very lucrative investment and a way to support artists. And I'm looking at it as a way to find new ways to communicate messages strategically to different communities and audiences around the world. So there are a lot of great opportunities for women in the NFT space, and Twitter clearly as the main forum for the NFT conversation is really honing in on the gender piece and seeing the advantages and the opportunities around women. I want to close out by highlighting some of the biggest NFT collections. I have mentioned some already, but just go and check them out, okay? The NFT space is a male-centric space. I don't want to sugarcoat it, right? It is kind of another boys club, but you have these women's projects and collections that are standing up for themselves and making waves. And even though women in the NFT space is still relatively unrepresented, these are some of the main ones that have started to surface to the top and have been garnering the attention within the space and beyond. The World of Women is the hottest female-led NFT project. Go take a look at that. They've just done a cool collaboration with Billboard, and their trading volume has been pretty amazing. I like that they support a lot of women-led organizations, sustainability-focused organizations like Green Code NFT, She's the First, and Too Young to Wed. Sad Girls Bar is another collection that is out there. You should take a look at that too. They're planning to support Women Side by Side, which is a peer support program for women developed by Mind and Agenda. Boss Beauties is another great project that really shows a lot of diverse female avatars of women in empowering roles. Doctors, astronauts, presidents, moms, soldiers, sort of breaking the bias, right? And it really is, it's a great collection, and they are supporting young women through mentorship programs and scholarships. Asian NFT project is also a good one. Asian representation is pretty limited as well in the entire space, and so this project shows diverse women from different Asian cultures, and I think that's pretty cool to highlight. Fame Lady Squad is something that that has caused a little bit of traction in the space. There was a little bit of controversy at the beginning around this, but they're doing some pretty interesting things. And their whole core mission here is to support women of all backgrounds in the crypto and NFT space. Flower Girls, really beautiful art. Like, I loved it when it launched, and it really did catch my attention. I mean, they are exquisite, diverse pieces of art. I mean, this is really like fine art. and the floor prices are kind of low right now, and this would be a nice piece of art to pick up and collect. They are dedicating 20% of their sales to children's charities and dedicating 5% of primary and secondary sales to collect children's NFT art. There's a lot of celebrities that support this art as well. Gwyneth Paltrow, Eva Longoria, Reese Witherspoon, and Gary Vee, who has been a very important and early supporter of the Flower Girls, as he has of Women Rise. He really put this one on the map, and again, this Pakistani American artist has Maliha Abidi has really pushed herself to surface as the queen of crypto, is her nickname in this space. Queen of NFTs. Remarkable Women is another good NFT project that was created by a Canadian artist. You've got Long Necked Ladies that has been doing very well. And Cuomo Times World Residence is another collection that I had seen some weeks ago. They have a good sales volume on this project, and they are really focusing hard on mental health and charities around that, and looking forward to creating a children's storybook around NFTs as well. I really do like that project, and a lot of the mental health work that's being done is actually being led and strongly advocated for in the NFT space, which I really appreciate, admire, and want to shout out. That's it for ZV NFT, coming to you slightly jet lagged today from Nairobi, Kenya. If you like this episode, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to this channel if you find this of value. It really helps with algorithms and YouTube, but more importantly, it allows me to spend more of my time in the NFT space and really trying to understand it and share my journey with you and highlight the important things that I think you need to be aware of. And I also want to say that I will be committed to the women in NFT space, to supporting artists, innovators, creatives, investors, communicators and collaborators, brands that want to support women in this space. I do. And I think that the waves and the strides that are being made are phenomenal. Reminds me of that poem by Maya Angelou, Phenomenal Woman, which every artist in the NFT space today had better pick up and read, because that's who and what you are. It's a tough space. It's a male-dominated space, and hats off to everybody trying to navigate this as women and to make sure that it continues to be diverse and inclusive on every possible front. And it's incredible to see, and please count me as your advocate, your champion, and a great supporter for everything that you're trying to do. Thank you.